What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma.
Oh, we're doing that thing again.
Yes.
Okay. Co-host Justin Vaseur.
Special guest, permanent guest, William Wynn, the lender.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. We hope you guys have been enjoying this, all of our episodes. If you guys don't know, we literally upload almost every day on YouTube. We upload these 15-minute clips, or 15-minute segments. And these 1-hour episodes, they go on once a week on YouTube and on all the podcast platforms, which you're probably listening to on right now. So if you ever want to catch the, little 15-minute segments, hop onto our YouTube, subscribe, follow, and thank you guys for being here with us.
Yes, thank you.
So today's topic, this one, man, this is something that Justin's brought up to me because, he's looking for his first home and he does a lot of research on real estate stuff, and he comes up across this question a lot. And what is this question?
It's like, why are real estate agents liars?
Oh,
Like, why do you guys lie so much? No, I'm just kidding.
man, that's what's wrong with this industry. It's like when there are bad agents out there, inexperienced agents or agents that just don't give a fuck, they ruin it for everybody. And we're categorized as all real estate agents. Just like you said, why are all real estate agents liars? Damn, dude. I'm not.
No, he's not. Facts.
I think what it is just people are very inexperienced and they don't know how to answer certain things, or there's other ones that are just so money hungry and they don't care about their clients. There's bad apples in the industry. And
I think there's any industry, there's always a bad apple, and it makes it ruin for everyone.
Like there's always that one bad cop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And then they think the whole force is bad.
Yep.
Well, that's another thing to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
that's another.
But it just feels like they're always continuously trying to like get us to buy, no matter what the market is.
I can see that. So you always have agents say it's a great time to buy right now. And I actually say that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I say it because I have the reasons to do it. Like everything I say is true, right? When it's a bad market, agents still say, hey, it's a great time to buy. But they don't explain why,
Yeah.
But I can tell you why. And because I have William here, he can tell you why as well, So when rates are great, oh man, it's the best time to buy, guys. It's a really good time. Buy a house now. When the rates are super high like it is today, I'm going to tell you the same thing. It's a really great time to buy. And you know why? I'm not worried about the high rates, and you shouldn't be either, because as your realtor who cares about you and your finances, I will get you the rate that can be negotiated to what a 2-1 buy down program is, to what the rate isn't today. Like, so for example, if the rate today is 7.5, guys, we're not getting you a house at 7.5. We'll get you one at 5.5. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm trying to tell you it's a good time to buy, because I can negotiate these rates for you. We're not going in there max price, max rates, and all that stuff. But I think a lot of agents can't explain that, or they don't know how to negotiate.
Yep.
So then it comes off as they're lying.
Yeah, because that's the same thing problem I run into when clients that come to me that have agents already, because they'll come to me because I'm the lender, and we talk about the 2-1 buy program, 2-1 buy down temporary program. And I always ask, is there agent experience? Because we need a good agent to explain all of this and to negotiate with the seller to get you the credit. Because you don't have a good agent, he's not going to know what to do, and we're not going to get that deal like that special rate for you guys. So,
dude, how many of your agents that you deal with get like a rate buy down?
0.
For real?
Except for Ant.
For reals?
Mm-hmm.
God,
they're afraid.
damn.
They're afraid to ask. They're afraid to ask, or they don't know how to ask. And then when I try to kind of coach them a little bit, some agents are like, I don't need it. I'm the realtor. I don't want to listen to you.
It's literally every single person we help, we're getting it for them, unless the program they have doesn't qualify to get it.
Like an investment property, we can do that.
But if we're not getting that for them, they're getting like 10 to 15 grand in closing costs that they can use to buy down the rate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's just shitty agents are the ones that are the liars, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate. They don't have the education to tell their clients, what they need to know.
They're just listening to, like, they go to meetings.
Are clients ever like concerned about like their home value going down and stuff like that?
Yeah,
They are. They
course.
ask me that all the time, and I say, "Why? Are you selling next month?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Then don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna be selling what, 2 to 5 years?" And they're like, "Yeah, or I might stay longer." I'm like, "Then what are you worrying about?"
Mhm.
When prices go down, it's only for a couple years,
Mm.
Or
and that
shorter.
only happens once every 20 years, right?
Mhm.
So
It's like buying stocks. If you're gonna hold, you buy and hold. You don't look at your stock every day because it's gonna go up and down every day,
Mhm.
right?
yeah.
You go the long run, long run. So you're gonna hold it. Don't look at the price. When you look at the price, you're gonna freak out. But at the end, it's always gonna grow. At the end, real estate's always gonna grow. You can pull it up, Google it. Historically, properties have always gone up.
Is there such thing as like a volatile market for real estate?
I would say there's just a timeline where it's volatile,
Yeah.
which is
So
what
what
we're
it-
in right now.
So what does that mean? Like, is there an approach where you got to be cautious in some way, or not?
I would say, like, depending what area you're looking at, because right now, like, Vegas is kind of prices coming down a little bit, but you go down to South SoCal, LA, San Gabriel Valley, they're still like overbidding thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Even right now at a 7.5%.
Yeah, people are still buying because you know why? Because nowadays some people are understanding that rate is not permanent. We can always refinance within a year or two, or do a temporary buy down. That ones that have realtors can do it, or I push it. There's just so many, or permanent buy down where they just put money in, buy the rate down.
There's just so many people in LA that just have I don't give a fuck money where they can just overbid like that.
Yeah,
now.
or they're just
It's
tired.
crazy.
Yeah, they're just tired of waiting. Like, because rent.
They're so aggressive.
Yeah, because rent's super expensive. Like, why not just buy a house?
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I was just curious what like a volatile market in real estate means. Really?
To me, that means like in the last 2 years, or in the last year, rates have. Oh no, yeah, the last 2 years, the rates have kind of gone up, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, prices go up, and then price go down, price go up, price go down, and it's pretty much like every season is a different
Yeah.
market right now in the last 2 years.
Because we're heading into the slow
We're
season.
talking about like from spring to summer to fall to winter, and it's becoming volatile within those seasons. And it goes from like people are now overbidding to now price drop 50K,
Yeah.
and then price drop to 100K, and then all of a sudden back to overbidding.
Yep.
And it's like, what the heck? What's going on? So if you're not in the day to day, like actually negotiating things every day, you won't know this stuff, So it's hard when people say, dang, why are agents lying? They're always telling me this and that. And like, how much experience does this guy have that you're talking to? I think that's the big factor.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of resources he has? Not because no one knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like even me, sometimes on our podcast, you ask me questions that I know the answer, but I want to always double check, right? Because we always double facts, and because I have the resources too. Some agents don't have resources. Some of them just do it on once a year, right? Once a month.
So when someone sees a house that was like 300 grand a couple years ago and now is like 400, 500, is that just baseline for that home now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're probably not going to see that 300 grand for
Nope.
that type of home.
Nope.
Okay.
Like I'll give you a prime example. I live in Orange County. In my neighborhood, I was eyeing a house. It was like 600,000, maybe like 4 years ago. I'm like, it's too expensive. And then this is from my personal experience, right? Because I wanted to wait for it to go down. 2 years later, it was 800,000. Now it's when the market was crazy, it was 1.4 million, and now it's been corrected. Now it's 1.2. So it's never going to go back to 600. That $600,000 is gone.
But like, what if you could get it for 800?
Like, that won't happen.
That won't happen
Because the whole neighborhood. If one house goes down, then everyone else. So it's not going to happen.
And then how many times like does something like that happen where the house goes up that much in such like that was basically in like 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how many times in history does that happen Where like,
So if they say there's a real estate cycle every 20 years,
Yep.
and they're saying like every 20 years it crashes or goes down, goes back up. And so right now we're like what year? We're heading into a year 1 or something like that, or we're in a year 2
of what?
of this new cycle. So they're saying we're heading into this recession where everything's going to drop even more, right? Not crash, but drop more. And this is where all the investors are going to start picking up homes. And this is your start of the next cycle, because this new house that you're going to pick up, this new property, in 10 and 20 years, is going to skyrocket again, and you'll be fine.
So what brings house prices up is how many people are buying. So let's say this house is $1 million, and then we have 30 people wanting to buy. That's what increases the price, because they're going to overbid. And once that house sells for 1.3, the neighbor that sells the house, now they want to sell their house for 1.3, right? So that's why this it's a continuous upward trend.
I would say, to keep it simple, it's just like every 5 years it would have a little jump.
And depending on the area, because I think one of our buyers, their house went up 50,000 in less than a year.
70,000.
70,000 less than a year.
Yeah, in a few months.
So it depends on the area.
Yeah. So I would say by the end of the year, her house will probably go down, maybe 20, 30 grand. And then after that hump, it'll probably shoot up to like over 100K. But for it to get to like double of that, probably about like 4 to 5 years, to have this, like, all of a sudden there's a craze of a high influx in inflation. Yeah, it takes time.
That's interesting.
That's why it's good to invest in real estate. And that's coming from a market security. I'm licensed for all of that, investor. So real estate.
So what else are you saying that real estate agents are lying about, Justin? How can we make you feel better?
Yes.
Have we made you feel better so far? Do we, I know you go down a lot of rabbit holes of research of real estate, and like, what else you see that about them lying?
Maybe it's not like just lying. Maybe it's just this like shark-ish kind of personality where it's like,
yes,
you're trying to always get me in the door, and it's like, it's sometimes it feels like they don't really care about me. They care more about the sell.
Yeah, and those are so here's a difference. Those are people who are desperate, meaning that they're not making any money. So
that's
they
a
need
lot
it.
of people.
Yeah,
because it's all commission.
Because
no, I get that. It's just damn.
Yeah, salespeople.
They say there's like, I forgot what the percentage is. It's really small, like less than 5% that actually make it through as actual realtors, and the rest just kind of drop out.
Lenders too.
And so those, like, that big percentage that drops out, those are the sharks that you're talking about. Like, for example, someone who never really gets a deal, maybe they do like 1 to 4 a year. They're gonna just try and
They're super hungry.
They're just gonna try and sell you a home. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody, their friends, their family, everybody, and it doesn't matter. They just care about themselves. Now, for someone like me who does like multiple a month, I can care less if you buy a house from me. Like, I would love to help you, Justin, buy a home when you're ready. I'm not gonna say, hey, you want to buy now? Get your shit in now. Your all your docs. Like, no, whenever you're ready. And then also, you tell me that you have family that are realtors. Well, right then I'm just like, okay, well, he's got family. I'm not gonna bug him. He's gonna ask his family anyway. So I'm not butthurt if you don't go through me, But if I was a shark, I'd be like, Justin, are you really gonna go to your aunt? Come on, man.
Come on.
We do this podcast together, bro.
Yeah.
Are you serious? But I don't give a fuck. Like, go help out your family. You know what I mean? Like, and then if you need advice and you want me to go with you to go look at homes, let's go for free.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to be happy.
I think that's why me and Aunt work well together, because we have what do you call it, like the server's heart, right? Because and that's how I was that's how my personality is like already like that. And when I was at the big banking industry, the investment banking, that's how I was trained to be a service heart. If you look out for the best interests of the clients, that's more worth it, because they'll gain your trust and they'll refer you their friends and family. A lot of these sharks are just one bangers. They're doing numbers. Right?
Like,
but we're doing a long game. Like, if we take care of you, even if we don't get paid sometimes, we know at the end that will stay with you, and our names will pop up when you think of a realtor or a lender, right? And if it makes us feel good because we're doing good for people, we're helping people, and we're not out there just trying to make. Of course, we're making money, right? But we're making money the right way by helping people.
So here's what I've realized as a realtor. Two things. One, you became a realtor because you like the big checks. That's the number one reason why you got in. Everyone understands it. Whether you're an honest or not honest person, it's for the money.
Yeah, everything's done money.
What's addictive when you start getting that experience and you're learning is how good it makes you feel when you change somebody's life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's the chase, not the money.
Yeah.
So I'm in it to help change people's lives for the better. And that's the feeling I'm chasing every time I succeed on that.
It's awesome. Like when we help people that come to us and like, oh, I don't think we could buy a house.
Yeah.
And then we end up buying. We so many first time home buyers that didn't think they'll get it, and it's getting. They're so appreciative, right? They're like, we're so happy walking in that door. They give us gifts. We're supposed to be giving them gifts, right? And they're buying us gifts. Like, thank you so much. Like we couldn't have done it. Like,
we literally get a gift every time.
Yeah.
And so like when you change lives and you chase that great feeling now, it's something that once you taste it, you can't get enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the sharks who don't get that feeling, that's where they're just chasing the money.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough of the success feeling of helping others.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Does that make you feel better about, real estate agents who are liars and stuff? Those are just the wrong people. And
yeah, I think there's always that recommendation of, making sure you do, what is it, like research on your real estate agent or like, shopping around, just to weed out those.
I always recommend
agents.
my clients just to pick our brains. Right? Even when they pick me out as lender, go, you want to talk to someone, just pick their brain and see who you vibe with, feel their aura, and see how they,
So now,
yeah,
exactly. Not you pick their brain on their experience, and then you pick their just how they are as a person.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You got to check those two boxes, and that's it. Junbi Matcha serves high quality matcha straight from the farms in Japan. The matcha leaves are hand picked by farmers to create the purest form of matcha straight to your cup. They currently have 5 locations around the U.S., 2 of them being in the LA area, which is Roland Heights and Westwood, 1 in Princeton, New Jersey, 1 in Dallas, Texas, and their newest location on the Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, Hawaii. If you don't have a Junbi near you, you can always purchase their matcha tins or pre-made packs. The most popular are the blueberry matcha and the vanilla matcha. You can just mix it with water, and you'll have the same great tasting Junbi teas at the comfort of your own home.
And why do people hate real estate agents?
God damn, dude, this episode.
They call them like they call them like a used car salesman.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's like those people that try to sell you like a cell phone service at the Costco or something.
Oh,
yeah,
they're just hustling though, man. I can't hate on them, but
you can't. Yeah, you can't hate on them, but there's
working.
this like weird tension, like dude,
that is dirtiness.
Yeah,
I put my hands up like this when I walk past those guys at Costco, and I'm like,
or the people that want to clean your shoes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yo, brother, you want to clean your shoes, bro? You'll be for free, bro.
I'm like, no.
It's like I respect the hustle.
Yeah,
but at the same time, the approach is
grimy. That's the word, grimy.
Come on, bro.
I mean, because it's a numbers game to them, right?
Yeah.
And they're not picking out their actual demographic. But what I like about this topic and what you just mentioned about why do people hate real estate agents, I agree. I also hate real estate agents, and I'm a realtor. I hate them.
Me too.
I hate the ones that just don't know anything, or the ones that are lazy, I think the one that just makes me red hot and on fire every time when I'm, dealing with the other parties when I'm in a transaction is the ones that just don't care and think they know it all.
Yeah, I deal with that too.
They don't know anything.
Yeah, as a lender too. Like they're like, I've been doing this for 30 years ago.
And they do everything wrong.
Yeah, like how many transactions in 30 years? What, 2 in 30 years? You can be licensed for 30 years and say you've done that for 30 years.
Yeah. I'm like, listen, I don't want to get sued by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just, put it all in this doc and we can all sign it? But instead they're like, with the same doc that's already signed, they're like getting pens and pencils and they're writing over it with stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not acceptable. Like, and it's already signed prior to you adding stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So,
or they'd be like telling the buyers and like your lenders didn't know anything. And I go, you don't know anything. Like now you're making me look bad because you don't know anything. And
Yeah. Well, why do you hate real estate agents so much as, a buyer, Justin?
They're just so pushy. Like I feel like the experience that I had like in the past is there was a time where I was looking at houses and stuff.
Without us,
No, this was before you guys.
okay, that's
And
fine.
then and then
That's what people hate.
I would get like text messages every day, and I'm like, dude, I'm literally just like browsing. Like,
Yeah.
I told you from the beginning, what I'm doing, this and that. And so yeah, they would just keep hitting me up, and
I think that's just like the old school sales culture,
mhm.
right? Pounding the phones, numbers, like the numbers game,
Yeah.
pounding phones, just constantly, getting in touch with the client. It's just how they're trained, especially the new realtors.
So when I came to Vegas, I decided to join a real estate group for the first time to see what I can learn. And I left the group after like 2 months. I'm like, I can do this on my own. But basically, in the group, they give you these numbers to call. And let's say I was calling you, Justin, and you get 15 different realtors call you every day, and you're
Mhm.
so annoyed, right?
Mhm.
And so, yeah, these guys get it. Like, oh shit, this guy's mad. I'm gonna stop calling. But there's that one guy that calls like 12 days in a row or like 12 times in a month, and everyone else stopped after 2-3 weeks, but the same guy does. Eventually your mind will switch and be like, there is that one guy that just always calls. I know he's pushy, but for some reason he's still here, and then they end up going with that guy. So they're like, you're not going to get the client on the first call, but you might get them on the 12th call.
Yeah.
And that's what I was taught.
Persistence.
And I'm like, nah, that's not me.
It's different.
Like even now I feel like car salesmen have a different approach, or at least when I went to the car dealership a few
Which
times.
dealership though? What brand though? See,
Mazda.
Yeah.
okay.
So like I think that's what I liked about that experience was I just went in there, looked at a car. I didn't get flooded with people or whatever, and then I was like, hey, I like this car. It's pretty cool. Can you give me more information on that?
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, cool. And then even when they gave me more information, they're just like, are you looking to buy today or whatever? And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm going to think about it. Okay, cool. Just let me know.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Damn,
Yeah, they respected everything.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like pre-pandemic, like those years,
Yeah.
everybody, like the second you drive into the parking lot, they're like running out to you.
Yeah.
He's mine.
That was
Yeah.
actually when I bought my new Toyota truck. That's how they were. There was like a whole group of like 20 salesmen, and like they're all staring as I pulled up. And then once I opened my door, they're already coming. That's how it was like last year at Toyota. And then this year I went to BMW because, buying a car for my wife. And I went
So
to
sweet.
BMW of Las Vegas and BMW of Henderson. And we go to Las Vegas, and it's just this girl. And she's like, hey, what are you looking for today? And it was just really nice, like your Mazda experience. She respected everything. When I went to Henderson, it was a guy. And he's like, hey, what's up? You want to come over to my desk and see what we can work out? I'm like, oh, shit. What? I didn't even look at a car yet.
Yeah.
What's going on? But I talked to both people for 2 months. The girl who was laid back, I would ask her for certain numbers and details, and she couldn't get it for me. And she would just ghost me when I asked, like, hey, so what if I try to do this? And I started getting really creative with my financing. Like, what if I did this to get the numbers down? What if I put this much down payment? And she just stopped. I'm like, what the heck? Like that, and then the other guy would be like, hey, man, you want to come in? You ready? And I'm like, well, this guy is actually really persistent. I don't like his sales push, but he's actually texting me like, hey, whatever you need, let me know. And then I'll give him the same questions I gave the girl and be more creative. He's like, yeah, if that's what you want, I don't recommend that. But if that's what you need because you have businesses and stuff, like he doesn't I was trying to put a big down payment on a lease, and they don't recommend that because there's
no reason.
Gap insurance, you get your car totaled, you lose all that money in between. So the girl stopped talking to me instead of being like, well, this is what you can do instead. But the guy was like, look, you can do what you want. I don't recommend this, but I'll help you, and let's get it going. So now I bought a car with that guy instead, the guy that I didn't like, but now I love him. You know, now when I went to go build my car, I went from buying a used car to building a brand new car. And I even brought this dude homemade egg rolls.
What?
You know what I mean?
So I think
finding a balance between
finding a balance. So if his original his first impression was horrible,
Yeah,
but
it was too pushy.
His mentality, and he does have a service heart because
like logistics and
because if he didn't have a service heart, he wouldn't give you the numbers, right? He wants it, but the approach was wrong.
The approach is too rough and too aggressive.
But he meant good.
His mind is like, okay, well, how else can I help him?
Yeah,
but then the girl's like, it's a waste.
Wasted. Yeah,
he's not going to
too much work. Yeah,
you know.
So yeah, you have to find a balance, and I think it really goes down to like how they're trained, basically.
And you feel those aspects can be like you can approach real estate in that aspect too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can. It's just you have to like set some feelings aside and think like, okay, when I'm ready, then I'll figure it out, you know, as a buyer. So it's like I was ready after 2 months to buy the Beamer, and then I was okay with the guy helping me like with all that pushy stuff. But obviously when I hear a little bit of like some pushy sales tactics, I'm like, here we go again. But it's okay. I just kind of let it go out the other ear. So with real estate agents, it's kind of the same. Like they're all pester you, but when you're ready, you actually appreciate it. And you're like, damn, dude, this guy is good. He's just kind of young and doesn't know, like, you know, that this person wants you to lay off a little bit. You know, so
I think it's a big reason behind it is there's so many real estate agents, it's just like lenders, that they get scared that they're gonna lose you. Right?
Yeah,
they're fighting other, like I said, they're fighting 30 other people that are calling you. So I think that's the fear kind of drives them to like, oh, I gotta keep in touch with them. So this is natural.
Here's the other thing. There's other realtors who like William's saying, that they're scared, right? And they're so scared that they say, you know what, I'll give you $2,000 back if you buy a home with me. Or they're like, you know what, you don't have to sign this agreement with me. It's fine. You know, for me, when I talk to people, I'm like, we're gonna sign this exclusive agreement right now, or else we're not working together, because I want to show that I'm committed to you and you are also committed to me. Because I don't want to go look at homes and then you're like, I'm okay. I'm like, no, I just wasted all this time with you. Like, I'm fully committed to you, you know? And then the other thing is, I tell them, I actually charge you these fees because, you know, that's just what my brokerage charges, and I'm going to charge it to you. Other people, they don't charge it. Most people don't charge it. They eat the cost, you know, for their clients. For me, I charge it because, one, I know that I'm good. Two, I always get people money back. So a lot of times when things are wrong with the house, I tend to pay for some damages for the client. And now I've learned that I don't really need to do that anymore, because when I pay for damages for clients, or I pay for their home warranty, or I pay for their home inspection for them, they don't remember it, because it's just like after 2 weeks, it's out of their mind. They didn't know that this guy spent $600 on them, you know? So now I rather charge them knowing that I'm going to get them some money back. And every time I'm done with everybody, they're like, oh my gosh, like, you're so worth it. I saved like 30 grand. I'm like, yeah, you know, so what's 1 grand to you?
It's you get what you pay for.
Exactly. And now I'm like, I can buy them a gift. I've been buying people TVs. I've been buying them like $300 bottles of like 21-year whiskeys or Dom P's, you know, stuff like that. But if I'm going to pay for your home warranty for $600, that's it. I can't give you anything else, you know? And then you're not going to remember anything after you have the home. So, that's the difference. Like,
yeah,
I charge people, you know, no one ever does.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay if you know what your worth is.
Do you feel like they're know-it-alls too?
Yes. Those are the worst. There's people who are like in the game for 20, 30 years and they think they know it all.
Yeah, I never did it this
Like,
way. Things change, man.
Like, are there some things that they shouldn't be answering, like questions they shouldn't be answering, or like let's say they have a buyer has a question about a loan, and then should they feel entitled to answer that, or should they reach out to Like know their place or
They could. I would always tell them like you can answer it, but I'd tell them just double check with the lender.
Yeah. So an experienced agent, a good one, will say, you know what, that's a lender question. Can you ask the lender that? Because as a realtor, you just know about the house. You don't know about the financial part, which is the lender. You don't know about the roof. You're not a roofer. You're not an electrician. You're not, a plumber.
Foundation.
So, yeah, foundation guy. You're not a home inspector. So you don't give out quotes. You don't tell them like, there's a lot of times when the buyer goes, hey, do you know if I can knock down this wall that's in between my living room and the kitchen? Because I want to open up the house and have this open concept. Do you know if that's a load bearing wall? Realtors shouldn't answer that. You don't know if it is. Like maybe from your experience, yeah, sure. But at the same time, if you're wrong and the person buys a house, it's on you. You know what I mean? So you should always say, hey, maybe we should get a general contractor out here and he can tell you if it is or not. You know?
Speak to the professional.
Yeah, speak to the professional. But what I do is I kind of give like both sides. I say, like if they ask me, hey, how much is this gonna cost me per month? I'm like, you know what? You should really ask the lender, but based off my experience, it should be roughly around this price. But I'm not sure, so let's ask the lender. So at least they have something now, and they'll have a confirmed details later. But if you just like answer everything, it bites you in the butt. This is the most popular matcha tin. It gives you the energy you need to prepare for your day without the crash, mainly because of its high quality. Make your own matcha at home with their daily ceremonial grade matcha. All you have to do is scoop, whisk, and enjoy. So this matcha tin is 100% pure shade grown, finely milled matcha. It's sourced from a 100-year-old farm in Japan. It pairs deliciously with other ingredients, and it fuels you to prepare daringly for your adventures ahead.
Right now, there's a lot of costs when you buy a home, closing costs, down payments, and things like that. Like, is it worth paying an agent commission?
Ooh, that's a big question. I think that's why a lot of people hate realtors, because when they don't get the full service, they're like, why did I just pay this guy commission?
Yeah.
Right?
And then also, too, like, is a commission paid from the buyer or seller, or like, how does that work?
So right now, what happens is if you want to sell your home, you hire an agent, or you can sell your home yourself for sale by owner. If you choose to get an agent, then you will work out a negotiation with the agent on a percentage for selling the home, usually 5 to 6%. There's no set number. Some people I've heard of doing like 10% if they're trying to really scam people. But, just good ethics, about 5 to 6%. And to answer your question, does a buyer pay it? Yes and no. Technically, the money comes from the sale of the house, which is from the buyer, but the commission comes from the seller. So let's just say the seller's agent collects 6%. They will give half their commission to the buyer's agent for, whoever helps them find a home, they're going to split half their commission with. And that's the other agents.
So 3% each. If it's 6%.
Yeah. And that's hard. It's usually about 5%. So 2.5%, or 2% and 2% if the seller's like, look, I just want to give you 4%, right? And so is that worth it to the seller? But I've sold 2 homes myself, for myself. I mean, no, let me rephrase that. So I've sold 1 house before I was a realtor, and my friend was the real estate agent for me. And when I sold that house, not once did I think, why am I paying this guy commission? Or I could do this myself. If my friend can do it, I can do it. I never thought about that. I was like, oh, I'm so happy I made 40 grand, and I'm so happy that I had a great agent.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you have a good agent, you don't think about that stuff. When you have a bad agent is when you think, damn, why did I pay that? Right? So
there's a lot of work into that. Like, because I've sold a house before. I used it realtor before you became a realtor. There's a lot of work. They had to do a lot of research, right? You had to market the house. Like some of these, you have to hire videographers, photographers come in, stage the house. There's a lot of work.
I would say that if you sold your house for what you didn't want, or you sold for a lot less than you thought, that's when you're thinking like, damn, I shouldn't have paid this guy commission. Well, I don't think that's the problem. It's more of you hired the wrong agents, or maybe you should have sold it yourself because you did have that option, right? If you sold it yourself, you don't pay anybody commission. It all goes to you as a seller. But
do you have the time to do all that? If you sell it yourself,
when you have a good agent and you get way more than what you thought, you don't give a fuck how much you paid this guy.
So what does that mean? Like,
so
if the seller's agent is able to get the house like what $100K over asking,
correct,
like stuff like that.
It's all negotiating, dude. So, and then the house inspection, they're all negotiating.
Yeah. How would you feel if we listed your house for $600K and we ended up selling for like $700K? Do you care about paying me that commission?
No.
Happy as fuck, right?
Right.
Exactly. And that's a lot of agents out there that are pretty good that can do that for you. So like I said, these people are just hiring the wrong people. They're hiring the bad apples.
So what if like you're saying that you're getting your clients hella good deals and all that stuff, negotiating on the price of the home, all these things. On the other end, does that make are you going through like a seller agent?
Yeah, right now we're talking about the seller's agent.
Yeah, so like
another agent, yeah, two agents.
Yeah, so right now, okay, you guys are negotiating, right?
Yeah.
So then if on the other side they're taking a hit, is that a bad seller agent?
Who's taking a hit? Oh,
like because you're negotiating the price on the house, right?
Yeah.
And then also like closing costs, whatever.
Yeah.
Does that make them a bad agent?
No, because it's all part of negotiating.
I'm sorry.
I think you're the buyer, he's the buyer, and then he's negotiating for the sale of the house. And then we're getting the seller's credits. Does that make the seller agent bad?
Oh,
because if they're trying to get the highest price, but then now you're negotiating down the price.
Yeah,
is that bad?
No. So here's the thing: when you're asking for seller's credit, meaning that the buyer is asking for some credit back to help with, buying down the rate or closing costs, it's because that house is not a hot home and it's not going to sell right away. Meaning that if you're the seller and your house is going to take a while to sell and that eventually you might have to drop the price on your home, instead of dropping the price on your home, you can give like 10 grand to the buyer for help. And that buyer will be way more committed to buy your home rather than you drop your price $10,000 and then you got to find the right buyer. Then that buyer is going to try and lowball and all this stuff. Like it becomes really bad. So, if your house is hot, it's hot. It's going to sell. But in today's market, in certain areas like Vegas, most houses are not hot right now.
It wouldn't make the seller agent bad because the seller agent would have done all the research. And kind of their job is to talk to the seller. That's your homie basically. Now.
I see.
You talk to them like, hey, this is he did all his research. You done all your research. All the houses been selling this much. This is how much room we have. You do your research on the house. That's why you're paying him. He's doing research in the house. He's looking at the house. Thinking, all right, this might be called in. So he calculates everything in that, and you guys create a minimum, right? I would think a minimum. This is how low we can go, but we'll price it here, and that's how much playroom. And it's his job to kind of negotiate to save you as much from going down, but you have that buffer set where you're allowed to get back, right? So that's the job of the seller's agent is to figure all that out before you go open.
Yeah, for sure. Like, so when we talk, we're like, hey, what's the minimum you want to sell for, and what's the goal, the max? And we never price it at the minimum or the max. We price it somewhere down the middle, and we try to get over bids. But like in today's market, where it's harder in Vegas, we're probably gonna list it. I mean, it really depends. Right now you probably just list at the max and shoot your shot. But last year you would be under listing your house and getting overbids to attract more people, right? But either way, you're giving your seller like Justin, if you're selling your home, I'm giving you two options. Hey, dude, it's been 2 months and no one's really biting because the rates jumped up. So people are kind of not trying to look for a home right now. Do you want to drop your price 10K or do you want to give the buyer some credit 10K to help them?
That's why it's worth paying an agent in my opinion, because doing that you work full-time job. You don't have time to negotiate. You have someone there that does it every day, that watches the market, that knows what he's like. That's their job to kind of help you guide you through all that and get the best out of it. So
I think what people don't know is they think that,
they don't do
okay,
anything.
yeah, there's a seller's agent. He doesn't do anything. He's just trying to sell my house. But when you come into these scenarios where you have to adjust something to sell the home, like you don't, people tend to forget that this guy also helps people buy homes. So he knows what buyers want. You know what I mean? So that's why it's really vital and important to have an agent.
Now, the scenario that you were painting, where like, would you rather give the person $10K or drop your house price?
Yeah.
What are the benefits to each, or like what? Isn't it kind of the same thing?
One benefits keeps the house prices in the neighborhood high because you're selling at the same price. Because it doesn't show you're giving credit back to the client. It just shows how much the house is sold. So it keeps all the property values the same. But if one house dips, then the next house, the same, right? When one house goes up, the other houses go up. If one house dips, now the other house is going to dip. So it's this.
Yeah, I think.
But what's the benefit to the individual making that decision?
I would say that maybe it's more tax write-offs. I don't know, because when you sell your house for more, you actually got to pay more, right? So it's actually not beneficial for them. It's more beneficial for them to give the buyer the credit. That just helps them in so many more angles.
Yeah,
I think in a way it helps them not lose more money because you're pricing it higher and you're giving the credit back, so you're taking less of a hit. But if you price it lower and then give credit again, then you're taking less money back, in my opinion, right?
If it was if I was a shark agent and I'm like, hey, Justin the seller, I think you shouldn't give 10K credit back. I think we should just sell your house with like, I'm sorry, it's the opposite.
All right,
let me rephrase this. I think that you should really just give 10K credit back instead of dropping your house 10K. Actually, so this benefits everybody because if you just give 10K credit to the buyer, your purchase price is still the same. So as a shark, I'm still getting a higher commission. But if you dropped your price 10K, I wouldn't get a higher commission. It's actually just bad overall for everybody. It's bad for you as a seller because you're starting the negotiating process all over again at that new price, trying to attract new buyers with the same mentality. And it's just a lose-lose for everybody. And I don't think people realize that. But they always go, inexperienced agents will always tell them like, hey, just drop the price. Just keep dropping it. Drop it.
Because every scenario is different. Because when you see a house price drop, you can like, why did it drop?
Yeah.
So the next person that looks at, like, let's say you drop the price and you go into escrow and the buyer doesn't qualify for the loan. Now the house goes back on the market and it shows that it dropped price, right? And now you're back to square one, and now people are gonna ask, why did that drop price? And it's gonna keep go lower and lower. You know what I mean? So like if you kept the price the high and give the credit back, and the buyer falls out of escrow, the house still sells for that list price originally. Yeah. I think that's one benefit.
I just helped a client buy a home this week, and the price they got was $150,000 less than what it was offered in the very beginning. Yeah. So I saved my client $150,000.
I didn't think he was gonna get it done.
I didn't think so either.
As our buyer, we met him. They listen to our podcast, right?
Yeah.
And they're from far away, and then they told us what they wanted, and I'm like, we're not gonna get this.
It's impossible.
And then he made it possible.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So in my head, I'm thinking, was the home just overvalued?
Or
the time, is it like 150K off of what the other houses are valued at?
No, so like on day one, it was listed, it was set at the right price, and then all of a sudden rates shot up. So, but it was set at the right price, and they had a buyer. They went into escrow with this buyer, and then it fell out of escrow because the person who was buying the home, they had their own home to sell, and they didn't get what they wanted, so now they couldn't buy the home. So it dropped out of escrow.
Is that what's contingency? Or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, when that happens, now you just lost 30 days. and now you're on past 30 days and your home hasn't sold. So now you got to do a price drop to grab more attention because people are like, it's been sitting here for a month. Why
What's wrong
hasn't
with
it
it?
sold?
What's wrong with
So they dropped it like 2 times, you know. So it went from like 1.2 mil to 1.1 mil. And then I came in, I'm like, damn, it's 70 days, guys. What's going on here? You know, and then I'm like, my buyers want this for $1 million. And they're like, no, sorry, we can't do that. And I'm like, well, what can you do? They're like, well, maybe $1.75 million. You know, they turned down cash offers for $1.50 million. I was like, no, I can't do that. I think the max I can do for you is like $1.50 million. You know, we can't do 1.1. It's already at the top of their budget. And so we do all this verbal negotiations back and forth. In the end, she's like, you know what? I can't do this. They won't take it. You know, you're talking about $150,000 off of what they originally started with. I'm like, yeah, I totally get it. It is worth 1.2. But this was a turning point for what I told the agent. I said, look, all we can do is 1,050,000. Okay. If you don't ask them for this and push for this, we don't have a deal here. This is the only way you can save it for both of us, for you and for me to keep moving forward. And she's like, okay, let me see what I can do. Because I told her it's a dead deal. This is the only way to save it. And so she came back and she's like, they don't know. And then she kind of ghosted me for like a day. Next day at like 10 p.m. out of nowhere, she's like, hey, write up the contract. I'm like, oh shit, we got it. You know what I mean? Like, because maybe they waited another day to see if they got any interest.
I think it's all about how it's the same thing, how good a realtor you are and how you approach situations. Because a different realtor can say exactly what Ant said, and it'll come off as he's a dick, and the other realtor will be like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah, that happens most of the time. And I've been through that situation where people were like, no, you're out of your mind. We're not going to do that, you know? But what changed for me was saying, look, this is the only way to save the deal for both of us. And then they're like, shit, this guy's on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And then they try their hardest, and then we always get it.
Yeah.
This is the matcha whisk. It's electric. It's very convenient to use. The electric matcha whisk is a fun, easy way to make matcha in a flash when you don't have the time or the space to break out your entire set. So you can still enjoy smooth, frothy matcha in just seconds, no matter where you are. So this is the bamboo matcha whisk. It's the most traditional way to make your matcha every morning. It'll help elevate it. It's a ritual that they used to do. And this is a 100-prong traditional bamboo matcha whisk. And it's foldable, so you can take it on the go. Very easy to use. I actually love using this. It's just makes the whole experience that much better. And then this ladle is the way I use to actually get the serving size for the matcha. I get the right amount by using this ladle, put it into the bowl, and I start whisking away. And just like that, by adding some water, you know, it's ready to drink. So visit one of the locations near you so you can get some matcha, try it out. And if you guys aren't near any of the locations, go to junebishop.com. You can use our promo code WINNING to get 10% off anything on the website. I think this is a great way for you guys to really try this instead of using anything else for caffeine, such as sodas, coffees, pre-workouts. You know, this is very clean. I do this myself and I love it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Next Win podcast with your host, Aunt Ma, co-host.
Whoa.
Yeah. Go.
Co-host Justin Vaseur.
Special guest, William Landon.
Oh my God, this was the worst introduction ever. I'm sorry, guys. I'm messing around too much. I was trying to introduce them while they introduced themselves. I was just trying to copy them. This is my favorite segment. It's called TikTok Rundown, where we watch TikTok videos about real estate and we see if this person is actually telling the truth, you know, or are they just saying whatever they want and trying to make this video go viral, you know? So we're going to see if these videos are viral or verified. And I want to see what this first one is all about.
Let's do it.
Yeah. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
We may.
Let me see if there's okay, so there's no. It says housing market 2023. Why new home prices are predicted to plummet.
To plummet.
Yeah, to plummet. My bad.
Wow. Okay.
When was this? Okay.
Make sure the volume's up.
93%. 93%. of everyone that bought a house this year regrets it. Yeah, they have certain regrets.
Why?
And this isn't going to help much, is it?
I just bought one.
I mean, housing market 2023, why new home prices are predicted to plummet? Oh yeah, step right up and buy a house. And oh, by the way, over the next few months, you're going to see home prices plummet. Yeah, nothing excites you more than your brand new $475,000 house. And then you look a few houses down the street and they're putting up one just like yours. And the for sale sign goes up in the front yard and it says, for sale, new pricing, $425,000. And you're like, what? I just bought this house 3 months ago for $475,000. Yeah, that's going to be the experience for many, many people over the next 6 months. And if you're one of them, I really am sorry.
I mean,
viral or verified?
That was viral.
Yeah, I think that's viral too.
He's a scare, fear tactic.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is he? What is he?
What are you, Justin?
I feel like it's a mix.
It is.
Yeah.
But I'm going more heavy on the viral.
Okay, viral.
I mean, you don't have to agree with us though.
What is his what's his content? What is he? Is he a realtor, lender?
Oh, I'm not sure.
What's his name say?
I don't know, but he usually just puts a lot of like facts and information about the trends in the market. So he sounds more like a realtor to me, but at the same time, so here's why I think it's viral. Okay, he's putting this feeling into everybody, making them feel bad when they shouldn't feel bad.
Feel stupid,
right? Like you shouldn't feel stupid about buying your home.
Yeah,
you still buy your home at a good time. So it's a great price, even if you bought it at $475 and your neighbor just bought one for $425 3 months later. Why does it matter to you? Are you
gonna sell?
Are you selling right now?
Nope.
And you lost that $50,000? No, you're not. Who's gonna sell in 3 months later? Nobody, right? But I get the feeling he's like, oh, I could have bought it at $425 if I just waited. Well, who knows, bro? Do you know if that buyer bought at $475 had to move out of his house 3 months ago, had to find a home, or his kids had to change schools by a certain time,
or the seller had to get a divorce and they just got to sell it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You don't know the personal problems that went on for someone to buy that home,
or someone died in that house.
Yeah, who knows? But either way, it's like after a year, that shit's going back up to $475 and way higher. It's like when I buy stocks and the stocks went down and they're on this downtrend, I'm like, great time to buy. I'm going to buy this dip. And then if it went down more after I bought it, I'm okay with that. I still got a great price because I know it's going back up. So I just got to wait a little bit.
I'm going to piggyback off that. It's your loss isn't realized until you sell in stocks or real estate.
Yes.
But in real estate, it's not long term. You're not really losing.
Yeah,
you're not.
That's right. It's not really losing real estate.
Right.
Yeah, long term.
That's why he's just putting fear into people.
So it's tough. He's causing more people buyers to chicken out. I don't know for what reason. Maybe to help other buyers, because with more buyers chicken out, it'll be easier for other real serious buyers to buy houses.
Here's this other angle. What if it was like the 475 guy is like, well, I got my 475 home at a 5% rate, and the 425 person's like, yeah, I got my home 425 at a 6% rate. Right?
Or 7 or 8%.
And then now, let's say the rates are like all the way to 10% for the next 3 years. But I don't know, like who's happier, And then in 3 years, the prices still go up when rates are high? Maybe. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? There's always new programs to help people. So to help increase values.
He's generalizing all the housing markets. And I think that it's just, he needs to be more specific on what he's saying. Because I don't see house prices dropping in California. Vegas a little bit, but nothing like he's saying plummeting. Like that's like a crash, basically. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, he's definitely not talking about major cities if it's $475 for a home, anyways. So
yeah.
Guys, so one more time, it was viral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boo that man.
Right. Should we do another
of that guy or what?
Yeah.
Do it. Let's see.
We'll do something else.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure if you had a specific one.
No.
Okay, let's do. This is a lender one.
Ooh.
Says
Wait,
Wait, why has he got the same background
We have the
as
same
us?
background, dude.
was he here the other day?
Did this?
What?
Yeah, I've been
Excuse me.
Airbnb my
Imagine-
podcast
You
room.
have some explanations to
Wait.
explain to me right now.
Why did this guy copy our set?
Or why do you have another lender sitting in here?
Did he have this set before us
No, I don't know.
or after us? Did he watch our podcast and then he decided to do the same thing?
No, you guys should try to come and just put your tracks right now. You had another lender in here, huh? I knew it.
Oh my
The
god,
2023 housing market is shocking.
bastard!
Okay,
I'm gonna
let's see
say
what it says.
viral before he even does anything.
There is a caption, but I can't read it.
Let's talk about housing affordability. So this home just went up for sale today for $400,000, which is probably around what it'll sell for. What's interesting is that this home last sold in January of 2020. Now, when it sold in 2020, it sold for $285,000. So if you were putting 5% down, that would be a down payment of around $14,000. Interest rates at the time were 3.5%. That means a person buying this home using those terms would have had a mortgage payment of about $1,625.
That's so cheap.
Now, if you were to buy that same exact home today, 3 years later, not that much time has passed, if you're paying $400,000, that 5% down payment has gone up. That's going to be about $20,000. Your interest rate is now 7%. It has doubled in that time.
Ouch.
And that means your mortgage payment is going to be over $3,000 a month.
For a
This is
40K
why
home.
home affordability is worse than it's ever been. This is why home ownership rates are dropping, especially amongst millennials. And this is why even homeowners are choosing not to move and just to stay put.
Oh man,
That's verified for me.
it is.
That's all truth.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I don't
It's a
know.
tough-
Only he knows that, so I'm gonna piggyback off William. I'm
I
very
raise my
verified.
hand and say verified because he's speaking the truth. I mean, the affordability has gone up, right? And then it's inflation, interest rates going up, home values going up. It's everything we talked about. Home
Yeah.
values going up. That shows proof right there. They bought the house 3 years ago, and their values almost doubled.
Yeah.
See,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that's not normal. Like how many times in history does that happen? Where
was
in
trying to
3
look that
years, in 3 years, a house goes up 100%.
I think it's just new because so many people are making more money now. Like a lot of people are making money. Like a lot of people doing their entrepreneurships, making money. I don't know what it is, but it's just more buyers are bringing up the house prices. That's the problem.
I think I still stick with
I
like
think-
And supply.
every
I-
3 to 5 years. I mean, 5 to 8 years or 3 to 8
Yeah.
years.
100%. If
Yeah,
the normal
so-
rate is 3%, right? 3.5%, that the houses go up, right?
I don't even
The
know.
value of the house.
Well, inflation is like what 2% a year.
I don't know.
So-
I think it just depends on the area. But let's say for example, my parents bought a home in 2010.
Well, right now we're talking about the average home, basically.
Well, I'm trying to like tell you where this jump is. Like it took my parents 6 years to go from a 500 to 800K.
When
6
was
years.
this?
From 2010 to 2016.
Okay.
Okay. It jumped up 300K, right? And then from 2016 to today, it jumped up another 600K. Something like that. Right? So it's like every 5 years, 6, 8 years, something like that. It makes a big jump.
Yeah, I think it's just all depends on the area you're in and the trend. Like where I'm from, when I grew up in Highland Park, that's the ghetto. That's Northeast LA. That's the ghetto. All the cholos. I think my parents bought the house for like 100 something, 200,000, like 100 something. A huge house, duplex, and everything. But once it was like that until I graduated high school. I went to college, and then things started changing, and then more white people started moving in. Gentrification started happening, and house prices shot up. I think we sold my parents' house for like $600K, right? And then if we waited another year or two, when the neighborhood started changing more, because when we sold our house, more white people, like a British guy moved in. The demographics started changing, and house price shot up more. And I think that house is worth now.
It's a mill.
Yeah, Highland Park houses are worth $1 million.
It's more
now.
than a mill. Yeah.
That was unbelievable, and that's what within 10 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's because we sold in 2015. Yeah, less than 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 200%. Almost.
So is that special case scenario? Or like
yeah.
when we talk about the average home, like why is the average home
That's why
so much more expensive in the last 3 years?
building costs, material costs.
Yeah.
That's why we have I don't know if you guys know, there's an insurance crisis now in California, where insurers are leaving California, not insuring houses anymore. Insurance for houses are doubled now because of the fires. We had so many fires, and it costs too much money for the insurance to replace the house because of all the building materials, because of the supply shortages, because of COVID. It's still happening because they can't. Everything's expensive.
That's a great topic I want to do on the next episode about what's going on with insurance in California. We do have a lot of insurance friends, so we'll talk about that on the next one.
Yeah, but I think the main point is that everything costs more.
Yes, for sure. That's why. It's just inflation. I think every time you see the movie tickets and gas prices go up and food prices go up,
you forget about
that's
house
probably
costs.
when the house goes up too.
Because gas prices go up, it costs more for those trucks to carry the wood to build this house. You know what I mean? So everything is just passed on. It's a trickling effect.
I wonder what the average income has gone up in the last 3 years.
Nothing.
Yeah,
That's the problem right now. That's what he's pointing out. Like
the affordability.
Yep.
Nothing.
All of everyone's income is still the same from 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's why his video.
So what do you think needs to happen for that to?
The CEOs and big companies need to
realize it.
To realize it and be less greedy, because they're getting paid millions while they're making this. When I used to be working at the big bank, my raises were 25 cents, and I worked there for 10 years. So every year I got 25 cents. That was it. Congratulations!
So
you did, and I brought in. I made the bank money. Like I brought in money. Right. That's my job, was bringing money and having to invest. And 25% raise, but while the CEO is getting bonuses of $1 million bonuses. Right. So because they're greedy, they could have just not taken bonus and pass it on to the employees, the people that are building the company. And that makes our lives better. It increases everyone's livelihood, but they don't. They that's a big under topic, but it's just greed of the rich. Sorry.
No.
It's truth.
Okay. So that one was verified.
Yes.
Yep.
Tight. All right, we got another one.
One more here?
Yep.
All right.
Here are things I never do as a real estate agent. I never go to lunch or dinner with my clients.
I believe that a realtor that engages in such activities is wasting their fucking time. A lot of real estate agents feel the pressure of going to dinners and lunches with clients in order to secure or nurture their relationships with them. But I don't believe that. I believe that real estate clients either want to buy homes or sell homes. And you don't have to show your value during lunch. You need to show your value by accomplishing the task of either buying a home or selling a home for your client.
Dude?
I believe that when a client is asking you to go to lunch or dinner, there are usually ulterior motives, especially when you're a lady realtor. You know what I mean. For more real estate facts and tips, follow me on TikTok.
Bro, I don't even know what she's saying because of the music so loud. What the heck? What is this Mario shit?
I think that's viral because she's sitting in a Porsche.
There's a mansion in the back.
There's a mansion in the back. She's you guys, for anyone's listening. So there's a mansion. She's standing in front of a mansion. She's doing her TikTok. Well, she shows the Porsche outside of the Porsche to make sure you know it's a Porsche.
Yeah.
And then she sat inside talking the Porsche.
Can my ADD kicked in? What? Can you tell me what the whole thing was about?
It was basically how you shouldn't be like
having lunch. You shouldn't have lunch with as a realtor. You don't have lunch and dinner with your clients. All you do is sell the house and buy the house.
Well, I don't have.
There's exterior motives when you take a client out.
I don't have lunch or dinners with my clients.
I do, but I don't have exterior motives. It's just building a relationship, in my opinion.
When I go to restaurants, I do see realtors sitting with clients. Like, all right, they bring out this whole thing, and I don't know.
I think in my opinion, that's viral because I think that's inviting a client to lunch and just sometimes just thanking them for choosing you as a client or as the realtor or agent or lender. Like in the investment world, we take clients all the time. Like we take them nice dinners all the time. It's nothing. It's just part of the business. But and she's also assuming that because I'm a girl realtor, they want to eat with me. There's exterior motives.
What other motives are there?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
They're trying to hit on you, basically.
Oh, that's what she's saying. So she's saying like if you're a girl, I don't know, she have viral.
Yeah, viral.
I think it's viral.
Yeah, like what? Like that's.
I mean, I could kind of see certain things, but
she's saying it's not important. She's basically saying it's not important to build a relationship with your client. Mm-hmm. You're just there to sell. As long as you sell or help the client buy the home, that's all you need to do. There's no need to cultivate a relationship, business relationship.
I mean, I could see that too, though. I can see that you don't need to.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, you need to sell your home. All right, I'll do the best job that I can to get what you need, and then that's it. Boom, boom. But then, like, I guess it just depends on how you want to run your business, no?
And how the client wants to be run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's up to the client. If I offer the client you want to have lunch, you didn't want to, that's fine. You know, it's just part of the client experience.
Plus, there's also a lot of communication that can be cleared up when you do have like lunch or.
Yeah. Like we have meetings, business meeting all the time for lunch. This is something to do and eat, and then while doing business.
I mean, I guess I do mine in a different way. I do the same thing at a dinner, but I just do it over FaceTime. That's what I do. I FaceTime with all of my clients, and I do that.
But most of our clients are like
they're out of state, or I just don't have time. I'm like, hey, or like when I'm FaceTiming, it's like 9 p.m. because these people have work and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'll make it easy for you. I'm free until midnight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's past dinner time.
Yeah. Well, to me, especially working in the banking industry for a long time, it's not unusual for us to take clients out.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a credit card to take clients out.
Oh, cool.
Like like depending on how much money, like we have a corporate credit card. We can go to Mastro's and have like a crazy ass dinner. It's just to thank the client and show them that we appreciate them.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
So viral. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right,
so
guys.
that concludes our TikTok rundowns for the day. What do you guys think? A lot
I
of
like
craziness.
these videos.
I got really heated today with some of them, especially the guy.
You got what?
I got kind of heated with the guy. So this one too, like what? Crazy.
Yeah, that's why that's why I want to respond to these videos because everyone in the comments is always heated.
Yeah, they're working on feelings.
Oh yeah,
that's what they're doing. That's what they're aiming at.
All right, so thank you guys for listening to our TikTok rundown. I hope you enjoyed this. Let us know how you like this new segment and if you want to see more. So we'll see you on the Next Win podcast.